On the news tonight, Tangale community reaffirms loyalty to Governor Inwe Haya reconciliatory visit. Gombe State House of Assembly passes Education Development Trust Fund Bill 2025. Three-day Acrisal workshop empowers frontline workers to combat gender-based violence in Gombe. Good evening and welcome to 25 News. My name is Ibrahim Atal. The Secretary to the Gombe State Government, SSG, Professor Ibrahim Abubakar Njoli, has revalidated his membership of the All Progressive Congress, APC, in Kaltungo West Ward following the recent flag of the party's online membership registration by Governor Mahmoud Inua Yahya. Shortly after completing the revitalization exercise, Professor Njoli called on APC members across the state to register and formalize their membership, describing the process as crucial to strengthening the party at the grassroots. He also appealed to non-APC members to join the ruling party, which he said remains committed to progress and development at the local, state and national level. According to the statement issued by the information officer in the SSG's office, Mr. Joshua Dammal, and Professor Njoli also demonstrated his support for vulnerable communities by distributing bags of millet and potash kanwa to Fulani communities.
The development and improvement of the education sector of the state. The committee accordingly submit this report to the Honorable House for consideration.
Livestock. He further urged members of the Fulani community to remain law-abiding and continue to live peacefully with their host communities. Speaking on behalf of the beneficiaries, Ardo Buldi expressed appreciation to the SSG for the assistance, noting that it will contribute significantly to the welfare of their families and the well-being of their animals. Professor Njodi was accompanied to the events by the One Bank Kaltungo Engineer Idris Noire, the APC State Publicity Secretary Moses Kiari, the Chairman of APC in Kaltungo Local Government Area, Honorable Ayuba Hassan, and other party stakeholders and well-wishers. The Gombe State House of Assembly has passed into law the Education Development Trust Fund Bill 2025 aimed at providing sustainable financing before the development of education across the state. The bill seeks to ensure consistent funding for the development and maintenance of infrastructure in basic, secondary and tertiary educational institutions in Gombe State. Presenting the report of the House Committee on Education, the committee chairman, Honorable Shaibu Adamu Aruna, said the proposed law will promote access to quality education at all levels across the state. He explained that to strengthen the bill and ensure robust scrutiny, the committee consulted best practices from sister states, including Niger, Kano, and Kaduna states, in line with the
development and improvement of the education sector of the state. The committee accordingly submit this report to the Honorable House for consideration and adoption. Conclusion. I wish to express my profound gratitude to Almighty Allah for giving us the ability to carry out this important assignment, and also thank the committee members, clerk, secretary for their dedication and impactful contribution to get the job done.
Honorable Haruna added that as part of the legislative processes, the committee organized a one-day public hearing which allowed key stakeholders to contribute to the bill. According to him, the inputs and recommendations received greatly enriched the legislation that reflected the collective aspiration of the people of Gombe State for a better funding education sector. Following intensive deliberation on the floor of the House, the bill was read for the third time by the Clerk of the House, Barrister Rukaya Adamujalu, and subsequently passed into a law. The Speaker of the House expressed confidence that the law, when fully implemented, will significantly improve the education sector in Gombe State. Earlier, the House screened nominees forwarded by Governor Mahmoud Inua for appointment into the Gombe State Electricity Regulatory Commission, GOSEC. Those screened include Alhaji Abubakar Saad as Commissioner for Regulation, Engineer Ahmad Usman Pindiga as Commissioner for Rural Electricity Regulation, and Talata Abubakar as Commissioner for Legal and Licensing. Others are Dr. Usman Abba Arabi as Chairman, Engineer Suleiman Usman as Commissioner for Technical Regulation, and Lydia Ali as Commissioner for Finance and Administration. Speaking to journalists after the screening, some of the nominees described the establishment of the commission misusing the energy, saying it will attract investors and improve electricity supply across the state.
To build them on such energy that they have at least either used or destroyed. So as far as I'm concerned, we will work on the billing, we will advise the discourse, and at the same time advise the customers.
There is criteria, and if you fulfill that criteria, you will be awarded that license to practice. But if you do not comply with that criteria, we will not give you the license.
If you see how rural communities stress on the power supply utility presently, because up to 70 to 80% of the network is not existing.
As you can see, the government is very serious about this issue, and we are going to support him to enact the law and make sure that those laws are fully, all the laws we enacted will be implemented. We make sure we follow it.
They assure residents that once fully operational, the Commission will address challenges such as exorbitant billing and unstable power supply. The House further adjourned sitting to Tuesday next week. The All Progressive Congress APC membership registration and validation exercise for Kwame local government kick off at Doho Award. Speaking on the exercise, the executive chairman of Kwame local government, Professor Ahmed Wali Doho, said it is mandatory for all party members to obtain their membership card from their polling unit using their voters' card.
Farko dan Kwame local government na farko ya bashi ambassador. Shekarun mu nawa muke siyasar nan ba a taba daukan dan Kwame local government, dan asalin Kwame local government aka bashi ambassador ba sai wannan karo. Saboda haka muna godiya kuma muna kira da babban murya ambassador duk inda ka je, in ma fiya wata ka samu a can ka dubi mutanen da suke karkara. Muka sa kafa abinda zamu yi Kwame nan tamu ce, Gombe State tamu ce me.
He commended the APC National Secretariat for modernizing the registration process and praised the transformation agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Governor Mahmoud Inuwa Yahya in various sectors. The Gombe State Commissioner for Works and Housing and Higher Education urged members to collect their membership cards, highlighting its importance in democratic participation. Correspondent Baba Abubakar report Professor Wali Doho also received 3,000 decampees from other parties at Bajude Ward, assuring them of equal treatment with pioneers APC. Speaking on behalf of the decampees, Alhaji Abdullahi Kabani said they joined APC due to the development project of Governor Inuwa Yahya and pledged their support for the party in the 2027 elections. The Gombe State Commissioner for Higher Education, Alhaji Muhammad Shetima Gadam, has restated the state government's determination to improve tertiary education as part of efforts to drive sustainable development in the state. The Commissioner stated this while speaking with our roving correspondent in his office, stressing that the present administration remains committed to strengthening the institution of higher learning to meet national standard and the needs of the state. Alhaji Shetima Gadam disclosed that all courses offered at the School of Health Sciences and Technology Kalchingo have been fully accredited. According to him, the accredited programs include Higher National Diploma in Health Information Management, National Diploma in Public Health, National Diploma in epidemiology and disease control, national diploma in environmental health technology and institutional administration, among others.
Government and also my ward, we are going to follow the same step. So we have done that of the local government, and that is the day before yesterday. And I also went back home and did my own at my ward, Ghana.
Alhaji Shetima attributed the successful accreditation of the courses to the continuous support and intervention of the Gombe State government aimed at improving teaching, learning and infrastructure in tertiary institutions. The commissioner also revealed that academic activities at the Faculty of Agriculture, Gombe State University, Malam CD campus will commence soon. He urged youths and other interested persons to take advantage of the faculty to further their education, particularly in agriculture-related disciplines that can contribute to the economic growth and food security. In another development, Alhaji Shetima Gadam called on members of the All Progressive Congress APC across the state to ensure they participated in the ongoing digital registration of party members, warning that failure to do so could leave them out of future party activities. He encouraged party members to embrace the digital processes as a way of strengthening the APC at the grassroots levels. The Association of Gyara Kayaka, Jakadafari Gombe, has paid a condolence visit to the Gombe State Commissioner for Information and Culture, Alhaji Mijinyawa Mohamed Tilde, over the death of 7 journalists who lost their lives in a fatal motor accident along the Gombe-Yola Highway. Receiving the delegation, Alhaji Mijinyawa expressed appreciation for the visit and commended the association for its contribution to peace and security in the Jakadafari area. He praised the group for supporting security efforts, particularly in addressing phone snatching, drugs abuse, youth violence, and other social vices. The commissioner appealed to residents of the state to continue supporting the present administration in order to enjoy more dividend of democracy across all sectors. He also commended the Gombe State Governor Alhaji Mahmoud Inuwehaya for his strong support to security agencies and proactive measures in tackling security challenges in the state. Earlier, the chairman of the association, Alhaji Kabiru Dambayo, said the visit was to condole with the state government, especially the Commissioner for Information and Culture, over the tragic loss of journalists. He prayed for the repose of their souls and assured the Commissioner of the association continuous obedience to government rules and regulations. In his remarks, the secretary of the association called on other community members to emulate the association activities to help reduce insecurity among youths. He also expressed gratitude to Nigerian police, particularly the Pantami and Gombe division, for their support and cooperation within the association. The permanent secretary of the Ministry of Internal Security and Ethical Orientation, Alhaji Baboyo Hassan Abubakar, said the administration of Governor Mahmoud Inuwehaya remains committed to ensuring the safety and security of residents across Gombe State. Speaking to our correspondent, Alhaji Hassan said the Northern Governors Forum recently held a meeting where members pledged funding to support security initiatives across the region. He also disclosed that the ministry plans to launch programs on both radio and television to educate the public on security matters, urging citizens to actively report criminal activities.
Allah ya samu sabbin masu jagoran wannan legion din, sai zamana su suna da manufan kawo dan canji da yanda ake yi daɗin. Yanzu sun ce za su kawo skill acquisition.
The permanent secretary commended Governor Inuwehaya for suspending the activities of Bola Jari pending proper regulation as measures to curb criminal influence. He further advised the public to provide useful information on criminal activities, noting that this year's Army Forces Remembrance Day was conducted peacefully and successfully, saying as part of the celebrations programs such as skills acquisition and farming activities were organized to support the wives of fallen heroes and sustain their livelihood. The Director General of the Gombe State Bureau for Public Service Reforms, Abubakar Hassan, has clarified that women civil servants observing the mandatory mourning period following the death of their husbands, known in Hausa as Takaba, are exempted from the biometric thumbprint exercise. Hassan made the clarification while responding to complaints that some women observing the mourning were being required to participate in the thumbprint exercise. He explained that effective civil servant must officially notify the thumbprint committee in writing to report their situation.
Kaman mara lafiya da shi kes mara lafiya abinda muke shine a wajen aikinka ya kamata a rubuto cewa wane ko wance ba ta da lafiya. In an rubuto sai mu duba sai mu ce to wanda bai da lafiya nan ya kawo mana takarda daga wajen likita wanda ya nuna mana cewa abinda ake kira medical report. To in an kawo wannan medical report din aka bamu, muna da kwamiti a cikinmu, akwai kwamiti kwararru na likitoci.
Medical treatment should write formally to the committee to inform them of their condition. He explained that the biometric exercise was introduced to sanitize the civil service and improve efficiency, stressing it's not intended to witch hunt workers. He expressed confidence that civil servants will understand the purpose behind the exercise. Hassan added that the Bureau has rolled out capacity building programs to refresh civil servant skills and knowledge, complementing ongoing civil service reform for sustainable development. He also urged all civil servants to ensure their biometric attendance is properly recorded and remain dedicated and diligent in performing their duties. Gombe State is stepping up the fight against gender-based violence as an agro-climate resilience in semi-arid landscape agricultural project held at a 3-day high-level training to strengthen the frontline response to the scourge. Correspondent Halilu Mohammed Teli completes the report.
Taron wanda ya gudana a masaukin baki na Command Guest da ke garin Bauchi ya kawo hukumomin gargajiya da shugabannin al'umma da bangaren 'yan shari'a da kungiyoyin fararen hula da kuma na kungiyoyin masu bukatu na musamman, inda aka haɗa kai domin ganin kariya. The training, which took place at the Command Guest House, Bauchi State, pulls together security agencies, government officials, traditional rulers, community leaders, legal luminaries, civil society groups, and vulnerable communities, forging a united front to prevent abuse, improve reporting, and deliver swift, coordinated action against GBV across the state. The Commissioner for Water, Environment, and Forest Resources, Mohammed Saidu Fawu, represented by the Permanent Secretary Abubakar Bello Kumo, while declaring the training open, said sustainable development cannot be achieved in the absence of justice, equity, and human dignity. Commissioner commended Governor Muhammad Inuwa Hayaf for asserting to laws criminalizing GBV in Gombe State, noting that the administration has also put support system in place for victims, including access to legal services, medical examination, and hospital care. Speaking, the Gombe State Agricultural Project Coordinator, Dr. Sani Jeuro, explained that the training is designed to equip stakeholders with practical skills for GBV prevention, improve reporting, and coordinated response mechanisms at the community level. He said the initiative aligns with AgriSal's commitment to inclusive community-driven development. Dr. Jauro acknowledged the relentless support of Governor Muhammad Inuwa Haya, which led to the unprecedented successes of the project in the state.
Know the impact of the violence and of course become informed on measures or ways to identify that these are the ways to follow and identify that I am vulnerable to gender-based violence.
The representative of the National Project Coordinator of AgriSal, Barista Hajara Adamu, noted that violence and exclusion weaken community cohesion and resilience. She commended AgriSal for taking this bold and innovative initiative to curb gender-based violence in the state. The Gombe State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Asmau Mohammed Ikanus, described GBV as a major obstacle to women's participation and productivity. Other speakers to include the Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Barnabas Malle, the Special Advisor to the Governor on Security, Abubakar Aminu Musa, traditional community leaders and representative persons with disabilities pledged their commitment to inclusive community-based solutions to end gender-based violence in Gombe State and applauded Gombe Akrisal for the initiative, which, according to them, is apt and timely. An in-depth presentation by Mrs. Joan Sani Lawan focused on the theme Gender in Climate Change, how tradition and religion affect gender issues in climate resilience, highlighting how cultural and religious practices shape gender roles and vulnerability. More papers were also presented on GBV. Ali Muhammad Teli reporting for GMC News.
The Gombe State Project Coordinator of the Nigerian for Women Program, Hajia Hawa Adamu Saraki, has called on all husbands to support their wives to actively participate in economic empowerment initiatives under the program. She made the call during advocacy visit to Funakai local government area, one of the pilot local government areas for the Nigeria for Women Program scale-up project in Gombe State. Speaking during the engagement, Hajia Saraki emphasized that the success of women-focused development programs depend largely on the support and understanding of family heads, particularly husbands. She noted that when women are empowered economically, the benefit extends beyond individuals to families and entire communities. According to the PC, the Nigeria for Women program is designed to promote women's economic empowerment through support for women and business formation of women affinity groups and savings and livelihood activities, all aimed at improving household income and financial stability. Hajia Hawa Saraki added that the program aligned with the vision of Governor Mahmoud Inuwa Yahya to improve the standard of living of women at the grassroots by creating sustainable economic opportunities and strengthening community-based structure. Hajia Saraki further explained that Funakai local government area was selected as one of the pilot areas based on its population size and economic potential, noting that full community support is critical for the project success. Community and traditional leaders present during the advocacy visit commended the initiative and pledged their support in helping to sensitize residents and encourage women's participation while also engaging husbands to understand the long-term benefit of women's economic empowerment. The Emir of Funakai, Alhaji Muhammad Kweranga, has called on Christians in the area to continue preaching peace in their places of worship and to support the administration of Governor Mahmoud Inuwa for sustained development in Gombe State. The Emir made the call while receiving members of the Christian Association of Nigeria Khan, Funakai chapter, who paid him a courtesy visit at his palace. He commended the long-standing peaceful coexistence between Muslims and Christians in Funakai local government area, describing it as a model for unity and mutual respect. The monarch urged residents to sustain the tempo of peace and harmony for the progress of the emirate and the state at large. In his remarks, the chairman of Khan Funakai chapter, Mr. Elisha Samaila Jato, said the visit was to rejoice with the emir of the successful witnessing of the new year and reaffirm the association loyalty to the traditional institutions. Mr. Jato also appreciated Governor Mahmoud Inuwa for his sustained effort in ensuring the security of lives and property across the states. It was a moment of reflection and heartfelt emotion as friends, family, and well-wishers gathered to bid farewell to Ibrahim Usman, a retired deputy zonal commandant of Operation Bauchi. The farewell ceremony was held at Babu Bubayero Skill Acquisition Center near the Gombe Emir's Palace, with traditional title holders also in attendance. Speaking on behalf of the Commandant of the Civil Defense Corps in Gombe, his deputy Abubakar Yahya Umauri described Ibrahim Usman as a man who lives behind a lasting legacy. Representing friends and relatives, Malam Yakubu Aji and Lawali Usman encouraged civil servants to learn from his dedication and unite for the success of the organization. In his blessings, the district head of Jakadefori Doma Abdullahi Mekano commended the organizers for recognizing Ibrahim Usman's services. He also thanked the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps for giving him the opportunity to contribute to nation building and urged other members to carry out their duties diligently. Responding, retired Ibrahim Usman expressed deep gratitude to the organizers for their love and effort in arranging the reception, praying that God reward them and continues to guide them in service. Clergies in various churches across Kaltungu have called on Christians to live exemplary lives in the service of God in the year 2026. Speaking during the Sunday service, the Reverend Lilias E. Bulus of Ekwa Good News Church reminded Christians to bear the image of Jesus Christ in all their daily dealings. Reverend Bulus urged faithfuls to dedicate themselves fully to the work of God and to emulate the life of teachings of Christ. Similarly, at Ekwa Church, Baganji, Reverend Naaman J. Kachalla encouraged worshippers to always put their trust in God. He urged them to seek God for solutions to every challenge that may face, while also calling on the congregation to continually appreciate God's faithfulness in their lives. In his sermon at Ekwa Church, Tarmana, the minister in charge, Reverend Bujeno, called on Christians to double their effort in the service of God. He urged them to remain submissive to God's instruction and renew their hope in Christ throughout the year 2026 and beyond. The Tangale community in Iliri local government area of Gombe State has reaffirmed its loyalty to Governor Mahmoud Inouye during the courtesy and reconciliatory visit to the government house, Gombe. The visit was aimed at fostering unity and healing divisions that emerged following the appointment of the Mai Tangle Danla Disumisime Yamba in 2021. Correspondent Shaib Umar, a report. Stories that make the headlines. You heard that Tangale community has reaffirmed its loyalty to Governor Inouye during a reconciliatory visit at the government house. Governor Mahmoud Inouye welcomed the gesture and said he had forgiven all past grievances, noting that forgiveness remains essential for peaceful coexistence. We also heard that Gombe State House of Assembly passes Education Development Trust Fund Bill 2025. The bill seeks to ensure consistent funding for the development and maintenance of infrastructure in basic, secondary and tertiary educational institutions in Gombe State. And finally, 3-day ACRISAL workshop empowers frontline workers to combat gender-based violence in Gombe. The training taking place at Command Guest House, Bauchi State pulls together security agencies, government officials, traditional rulers, community leaders, legal luminaries, civil society groups and vulnerable communities, forging an united front to prevent abuse, improving reporting and delivery, switch coordinated action against GBV across the state. That is the news on GMC TV. My name is Ibrahim Tal. Stand by for the Hausa version with Baba Obakar.